Hi, my name is Vince. I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I found out about the Free State Project and what I left behind in my search for liberty. I was born in Buffalo, New York, and then I moved to Florida when I was 7. I moved to New Hampshire when I was 33. So all I knew for 26 years changed when I made the move to New Hampshire. In this video, I'll give you a little summary of what will probably become the best decision of my life. So I found out about the Free State Project through the Ron Paul 2008 presidential campaign. In early 2007, I found out about Ron Paul, and I became very interested in what he had to say. I read as much as I could that he wrote, and I read things about him, that were written by other people. Until I found out about Ron Paul, I was kind of libertarian and anti-war, but he really made my opinions more sound and more consistent. And it was through Ron Paul that I found out about other organizations like the Future Freedom Foundation, Foundation for Economic Education, Cato Reason, the Mises Institute, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, and a whole lot of other libertarian organizations. So, like I said, I was constantly watching Ron Paul videos on YouTube and Google Video, and I would say somewhere around early to mid 2007, I came across this video of him giving a talk at this little thing called the New Hampshire Liberty Forum, which, by the way, is an annual event put on by the Free State Project. So I started to look into the Free State Project, and I found out they're basically a group of libertarians who agreed upon the freest state, and they said, hey, let's all move to one state and work for liberty there instead of spreading out our efforts, too thin. Because our kind is very rare, you and me, and only about maybe 15% of America defines themselves as libertarians. So, we have a very limited number of resources, time, money, energy, etc. But the idea is to consolidate our numbers in one state, work for liberty in New Hampshire, and become an example for all other states, and really for the rest of the world, by showing everyone else what liberty is supposed to look like. So I thought about the Free State Project for a bit, and I thought, well, that's nice and everything, but there is absolutely no way I am moving to New Hampshire. That is crazy. So after maybe about a year or so, or I would say each year that passed, I became more and more interested, and the more I thought about it, I was like, that's not a crazy idea. That's the best idea. It's the ultimate solution for the problems that are facing our nation today. Honestly, does anyone actually think we can reform Washington, D.C.? I mean, really? All the millions of pages of regulation, the crippling taxes, the ridiculous spending, the socialism, fascism, the wars. I could go on and on, but you guys already know all this stuff. There are problems in this country, and there is absolutely no way that these solutions are going to come from Washington, D.C. That's also why I'm a big fan of the 10th Amendment Center, but that's a subject for another video. So after I realized the Free State Project was clearly the one and only way to liberty, in August of 2010, I made the move to New Hampshire with my awesome girlfriend and our cat and our dog, and so we stayed in an efficiency apartment for 4 days while we looked for permanent housing. Found a permanent apartment, moved in, searched for work, found work, and now we're all settled in. So I'd like to pause my story for just a second, and I'd like to talk to the people who are concerned about the weather, because that seems to be one of the first things people talk about when they talk about moving to New Hampshire. And if this is you, I'd just like to talk to you for a second. Why are you concerned about the weather? I mean, seriously, how are you living your life right now? You probably go from your climate-controlled house to your climate-controlled car to your climate-controlled job and then back again, right? I mean, that's exactly what you're going to be doing here in New Hampshire. So stop being such a pansy, put on a jacket, and move to New Hampshire. I mean, seriously, if I lived in Florida for 26 years and I'm here, if I can handle it, so can you. So if you love liberty, we want you here in New Hampshire as part of the Free State Project. But I left much more than the warm Florida weather. I left everything that I've ever known. I left my job, which was a good, stable job in the middle of a recession/depression that we're in right now, without having another job lined up. I absolutely loved my coworkers. I miss them very, very much. I still talk to several of them, by the way. They gave me the most amazing farewell party anyone has ever gotten, and I really didn't feel like I deserved it, but they did it for me. Really, it was something that I'll never forget. And even though it was a great job and great coworkers, it still wasn't enough to keep me from moving to New Hampshire. I also left a lot of awesome friends, people I've known for a long time, really great people. I miss them very much. I can't wait to see them again. I hope they visit, but I understand if they can't. But even though my friends in Florida are so great, they weren't enough to keep me from moving to New Hampshire either. The thing that really made me consider not moving was my family. I have the greatest parents in the world. A lot of kids grow up in broken homes, and that was not me. My parents met, fell in love, got married, had 2 kids. We had some great dogs along the way. We lived happily ever after. So I think that my parents' lives and their actions are examples for everybody. My awesome brother, sister-in-law, my niece and nephew, I miss them very much. I Skype with them as often as I can, and I can't tell you how much I miss them every day. But ultimately, even though my love for my awesome family is so great, it still wasn't enough to keep me from moving to New Hampshire. So there you have it. I left warm weather, friends, family, coworkers, solid job, everybody and everything, all that was familiar to me, all for a chance to have liberty in my lifetime. But here's the main thing that I want you to remember. You don't have to remember my name or anything like that. Just remember that my story is very similar to most Free Staters. There are thousands more just like us that are not here yet, and I think that you guys just need a little bit of a push, and I hope that this video and this project that we're doing right here on this YouTube channel, I hope that we give you that extra little bit of a push to get you guys here with us. So those are some of the things that I left behind when I moved to New Hampshire, and as far as why I moved, earlier in my video here I talked about how I have no faith in Washington, D.C. I know that the solutions to all of our problems are not going to come from there, and I'd also like to add the 101 reasons to move to New Hampshire. Just go to freestateproject.org and you can read the list. There's only 101 of them, so it doesn't take too long to read them. Just go there, read all of them. I'm not even going to mention 1 or 2 of them because I think you should read them all. Read them all, and I'm sure that you will also be inspired to move to New Hampshire. When you move to New Hampshire, you will have instant friends who think just like you, and I'm not joking about that. We have all sorts of libertarians. There are many of us. We have the political types who like to run for election and help people run for election, the agorists, the voluntarists, the civil disobedience people. Whoever you are, you're going to fit in right here in New Hampshire. So now I'm here. I'm in New Hampshire, and I'm enjoying more liberty than I ever would have enjoyed in Florida. I've often told people the analogy that moving to New Hampshire is kind of like playing a video game and warping through 20 boards. I'm not a real big video game guy, but it pretty much makes sense. When you move here, you're going to enjoy freedoms that you never had before, and New Hampshire residents have had most of these freedoms for hundreds of years. So now I have a job with better pay and better benefits, a bigger apartment that has lower rent, and I have great new friends. And by the way, 2 of my new friends are working with me on this very YouTube channel. So that's my story. I really hope I have inspired a few of you, and if so, please go to freestateproject.org and sign up for the email list. And thank you for watching.